You've been trained to be liked, trained to keep the peace, to be agreeable, to be good. But Carl Jung would tell you that goodness is a mask. And if you're not careful, it becomes a prison. Because people-pleasing doesn't make you kind, it makes you invisible. You don't get more respect by saying yes. You don't get more love by being easy to like. You don't get more peace by being passive. You just disappear quietly, and nobody notices. You think you're being helpful, cooperative, supportive. But the truth is, you're abandoning yourself. And every time you do it, you teach the world that your needs don't matter, that your time is flexible, that your boundaries are optional, that your silence is approval. Carl Jung didn't see people pleasing as politeness. He saw it as shadow in disguise, a behavioral mask used to protect yourself from rejection, conflict, or disconnection. But here's the truth. The more you please, the more you'll be used. Not because people are evil, but because people respond to what you allow. And if you never show the parts of you that want to say no, that want to disagree, that want to be left alone, you'll become a shell, a shape built to fit into everyone else's expectations. And one day you'll wake up and wonder why you're tired, why you're resentful, why you feel fake, why nobody actually sees you. Jung had a name for this, the persona, the mask you were told to wear. The persona is the version of you that was trained by your parents, your culture, your teachers to be acceptable, to fit in, to get approval, to avoid punishment, to survive. And you needed it. You still do in some ways. You can't walk through life saying everything you think, acting on every impulse. You need a mask for the world, for social roles, for peace. But here's the danger Jung warned about. When you believe your mask is your identity, you lose your soul. Because you're not here to be agreeable. You're here to be real. You're not here to fit into everyone else's story. You're here to write your own. But you can't do that if your first instinct is to keep everyone comfortable. And this is what people pleasers never realize until it's too late. Every time you avoid saying no, you say yes to self-erasure. The high cost of being liked. You think the cost of speaking your mind is conflict, but the real cost is resentment. You think saying no is selfish, but the real selfishness is staying silent while secretly resenting everyone for not reading your mind. You think making people happy is noble, but the real nobility is having boundaries so clear that nobody has to guess who you are. Jung understood that repression creates distortion. And when you repress your anger, your instincts, your voice, you don't become nicer. You become passive-aggressive, bitter, disconnected, because you know deep down you're not being honest. You're performing. You're curating. You're managing people's emotions instead of expressing your truth. Eventually, your body will show the signs. Tired all the time, burned out, disconnected, afraid to disappoint, overthinking every reply, overanalyzing every interaction. That's not sensitivity. That's emotional imprisonment. You can't be loved if you're not known. The people you're trying so hard to please, they don't know the real you. They only know the curated version you've shown them. And you're afraid to change now. Because if you suddenly set boundaries, they'll say you've changed. They'll say you're selfish. They'll say you're cold. But that's not the truth. The truth is they've just gotten used to your silence, your softness, your submission. And when you start being honest, it feels like aggression. Not because you're hurting them, but because your honesty is finally protecting you. Jung would say, this is the moment where individuation begins. Individuation isn't self-improvement, it's self-possession. It's the process of becoming a full, integrated human being with a spine, a shadow, a voice, and a no that means something. And until you get there, you'll always feel slightly hollow, like something is off, like your life doesn't fully belong to you. That's not depression. That's your real self trying to wake you up, trying to scream through your fake smiles, trying to cut through your agreeable emails, trying to break out of the script you've been acting out for years. And the only way out is to stop pleasing. What happens when you finally stop? People will get uncomfortable. Some will get angry. Some will leave. Some will try to guilt you back into being soft. Let them. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. Because you're not here to please people. You're here to be whole. You're here to say what needs to be said, to set boundaries that disappoint others but protect your soul, to walk away from people who only loved you when you were easy to control. Jung would tell you this isn't selfish. This is your awakening. When you stop people-pleasing, you don't lose relationships. You lose imbalanced ones. You lose the people who benefited from your self-abandonment, and you make space for people who see you, love you, and can stand beside you without needing to control you. So how do you become that person? Start with this. Recognize the guilt loop for what it is. When you first stop pleasing people, you'll feel guilt. You'll feel it in your stomach, in your throat, in your silence. You'll feel like you're being mean, like you're letting people down. But Jung would say, this is not guilt. This is withdrawal. You're detoxing from a life of approval addiction. That heaviness isn't proof you're wrong. It's proof you're finally moving. Next, learn to disappoint without apology. You could disappoint people and still be good, still be kind, still be worthy. You can say no without over-explaining, without apologizing, without softening it to make them feel better. Start small. Don't respond right away. Don't explain every no. Don't over-apologize for things that aren't wrong. Let it be quiet. Let it be consistent. And soon, people begin to recalibrate their expectations around you. You'll stop pleasing people after this. Not because you become cold, but because you become conscious. Carl Jung didn't want you to become cruel. He wanted you to become awake. To stop performing, to stop fawning, to stop bleeding your soul out for people who wouldn't even hand you a bandage. He wanted you to become someone who is clear in your no, honest in your presence, grounded in your discomfort, whole even if it makes others uncomfortable. Because the ones who are truly healed are not the ones who are always liked. They're the ones who are free.